this video we'll talk about combining like terms. And like terms, we need to know what they are. So like terms have the same variable or variables, you could have more than one, and they have the same exponent on the variable. Alright? So sometimes you have like terms and sometimes you don't. You just have to inspect it as you go. So this first example, I have 20y plus y. The variable is y. They're both just plain y, so I can combine them and say that I have 21y. I have 20 plus one more y. In this next example, I have negative 12a minus 3, which is not the same, and then a 5a. So these two terms right here are like terms. So I could rewrite this as negative 12a plus 5a minus the 3. Remember, our properties say that we can add and subtract in any order, so let's add to make it convenient. Now I can combine my like terms. Negative 12a plus 5a is going to be negative 7a. And then my negative 3 is the only constant I have, so I just have minus 3. Alright, in this example I have 2ab plus 7a. And this is simplified. It's simplified because they both have an a in it, but the 7 does not have the b as well. And so they are not like terms. Finally, this last one's a little tricky. 6y over 5 plus 3y. This is really 3y over 1. So we can see that these are like terms. We can combine those. Now, if we're going to combine them, remember it's adding, so we have to get the same denominator. The least common denominator between 5 and 1 is going to be 5. So my first fraction gets to stay. It's 6y over 5. But now I have to multiply the 3y over 1 times 5 over 5. Remember, multiply by a factor of 1, that when you multiply the bottom, it gets you to the least common denominator. But if you do it to the bottom, you have to do it to the top. So 3y times 5 would be 15y over 5. Now I have both denominators the same, and I can add the numerators. So 6y plus 15y all over 5, or 21y over 5. Alright, let's do some more simplifying expressions then. We may have to use the distributive property that we've learned recently. We may have to combine like terms. Use all the things that we know so far to get these expressions simplified. So here's my like terms. They're both x terms. So I'm going to rewrite it. 12x, and then take the sign with it. Okay, you got to take that sign with it. So minus x, and then minus the 3. To 12x minus 1x, I have 12. You can think about it as 12 minus 1x minus 3. 12 minus 1 would be 11 times x minus 3. Maybe that's helpful for some of you. Alright, in this case, you have to distribute first. So 6 times 5x would be 30x. 6 times negative 10 would be minus 60. And then bring down your minus 10. So our like terms are actually these two constants right here. And they're already lined up together. So we just have to rewrite the 30x because I had nothing to combine with. And then it's going to be a negative 60 minus 10. Or you might want to think of it as minus 60 minus 10. Or you could think of it as 30x plus a negative 60 plus a negative 10. Either one of these are the same. Okay, if we do it this way, this bottom way, this gives us 30x, and then negative 60 plus a negative 10 more would be a negative 70. Add the same sign, so you add them and assign the sign. Two more problems. Still simplifying. We've got to distribute here. But remember, when you distribute, when you have expressions like this, you have to take the sign with it. Carry the sign and distribute to everything inside. So I have the 7. Now it's going to be negative 2 times 3x. So I have negative 6x. And negative 2 times positive 6 would be a negative 12. And then I have like terms again, which are constants, but they're not next to each other. So if it helps us, we're going to write 7 and then take the sign, minus 12, and then minus 6x. There's my like terms. 7 minus 12 is remember you can subtract. The difference between 12 and 7 is 5, but 12 is larger, so it's negative 5 minus 6x. And that would be our final answer.